Welcome to Critical Condition. Thanks for joining me, however you're listening or wherever you're listening. So, Dak Prescott has made a lot of headlines this coming offseason just because of the fact that everyone's debating on what kind of contract he's going to get. There was a crazy report last week by Chris Sims that he rejected a contract extension that was offered to him by the Dallas Cowboys that consisted of a 4 to 5 year deal that was worth up to $175 million. Pretty much he got offered what Russell Wilson's getting right now. Russell Wilson. So, big thing about that came out of that report is that Dak Prescott, if he wanted to get a 5-year deal, that 5th year, he wanted to get a $45 million payday year for that year. And that's, to me, is just ridiculous at that point. Dallas, hear me out here. You're better off with Andy Dalton at this point. I'd let him walk. Because this is just ridiculous. A $45 million price tag, and the fact that people are debating about this and asking themselves if Dak Prescott's worth this is ludicrous to me. Seriously. Dak Prescott is not worth $45 million a year. He's not even worth $35 million a year. The thing about him and Andy Dalton, when I look at this, is the fact that Andy Dalton's first 4 years compared to Dak's first 4 years, practically identical. I mean, Andy Dalton, for his first 4 years with a top 10 offensive line, like Dak Prescott has had, was 40-23-1. Dak Prescott, with a top 10 offensive line, is 40-24. Identical. But this isn't about Andy Dalton. This is about Dak's worth. And his worth is not what he's demanding. Plain and simple. There's 2 reasons why I don't think Dak's worth that kind of money right now and why I think the Cowboys should just walk away from these negotiations. First of all, I could argue that Dak's had it pretty easy to start off his NFL career. I've said this already. Top 10 offensive line, top 3 running back with him. He's got a nice offensive coordinator that adjusted to his play. And that offensive line has been really helpful for him. And I've said that before, and I emphasize this a lot. Because when Tyron Smith went out, there was nothing but struggles. When Zeke was suspended, there was nothing but struggles. When he doesn't have a solid number 1 receiver, he struggled. Look at him pre-Amari. He's 4-5. Dak Prescott isn't the kind of guy to be able to carry a team. He's the kind of guy that needs every single situation to go his way to win a game. Defense is making all the plays. Amari's catching every single ball that's being thrown at him. Zeke is finding crazy holes with that offensive line and rushing for over 100 yards. Offensive line play is 100% and everyone's 100% healthy. He's not the kind of guy to be able to adapt to curveballs being thrown his way. And when you're that guy at the quarterback position, like a Russell Wilson or a Patrick Mahomes, who can pretty much overcome just about anything when it comes to any wrenches thrown into their plans on any given Sunday, you gotta be able to respond to an adversity calls. And I don't see that from Dak. I've yet to see that from Dak. When you start paying a quarterback, you have to understand that in a hard cap league, you're going to start losing weapons and have to give up other people. Question that. Is Dak good enough to really overcome not having a solid running game or giving up one of those 2 nice offensive linemen? Really ask yourself that. You've already seen it. He's not. Not that kind of guy. Number 2. When you're getting elite quarterback money, you need to be elite. Again, since he's entered the league with above average weapons, with a good offensive line, which is ranked in the top 10 or a top 3 running back to go along with it, you're not really asked to do much. With all those great situations, Dak Prescott's averaging 24 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, about 3,900 yards. It's good. It ain't Russell Wilson kind of good, though. It ain't Patrick Mahomes money, though. And that's the thing. Dak Prescott, when he's being called upon, can get it done when something happens. We saw it last year when he played against the Jets and Amari went down that first game. They lost that game. couldn't get anything going until very late in the game, at that point, you can argue it's pretty much a lost cause. So, thing that I'm arguing right now is the fact that Dak Prescott's not worth that kind of money. Dallas Cowboy fans, you need to understand that going with Andy Dalton right now is your best option. Okay? I mean, Dak on the cheap, and I'm talking about him being on the cheap, fourth round quarterback contract right now, with all these great weapons, has only yielded to one playoff win. One. 2 appearances and 1 win. Ask yourself this. What's going to happen when you have to let go of other people because he's making so much money? Ask yourself this. Has paying every single player on that team top dollar money, which they will, because if, let's just say Dak gets his money, the Dallas Cowboys will have a top 5 quarterback contract, a top 5 running back contract, a top 5 defensive end contract, and a top 5 wide receiver contract. Does it really work out? Does that really lead to winning Super Bowls, which is the goal right now? That's the end game. You want to win a Super Bowl. That's what Jerry wants. You know that. He's not into a rebuild. It just doesn't work out that way. The Rams try to do this, and now not only are they in salary cap hell, but they really damaged their football team. One could argue that they're about to blow that thing up and start rebuilding again. And it may not be a popular opinion, but it's the truth. Dak's not worth top market money. He's not even worth top 5 quarterback money. I feel like if you can plug in, especially a guy like Andy Dalton, into that system, you'll pretty much get what he's giving you right now. And to truly get paid elite quarterback money, you'd have to be in the conversation like Patrick Mahomes or Russell Wilson, in top 2, top 3 quarterbacks in the league. Ask yourself this, Cowboy fans. Would you rather have Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott? Would you take Dak Prescott over Patrick Mahomes? I think the answer is obvious here. And I think the Cowboys just need to cut off the negotiations and just move on going into the season. Thanks for listening today. If you enjoyed content like this, feel free to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like. I'll catch you next time, guys. Goodbye.